Hey traders, welcome back to another video. So yesterday I received a DM on my IG asking me that, hey, what's the biggest sort of takeaway after being in the market, especially FX trading, short-term trading, for about 6 years? My biggest takeaway is take it slow. It was such a coincidence that yesterday I had a one-on-one call with one of my students in the 1%ers Trade Club. If you're interested in joining, link in the description. So I had a call with him, and very unfortunately he's about to leave our trade club due to certain personal reasons. It's not because of us, but due to certain personal reason, he decided that he will temporarily just sort of move away from the community. But when we were having a call, it was such an interesting topic that he told me, hey, I have not been making a lot of money for the past 6 months, whether it's learning from me, working from home, full-time trading, whatever. But he said he loved the freedom so much. He's like, he's not making a lot of money, but he can do whatever that he want, and he loved the way that he's still doing some job on side, but the moment he got back home, he's just back to the chart. That routine, the daily routine, the focus that he put on was very healthy, because it's always his job, full-time, his sort of a full-time part-time job. Then he go back to the market and he would rinse and repeat the cycle for, and he's been doing that for the past 4 to 6 months. And he told me it was very enjoyable. And that's the thing that trading really provides us is, it's never about how much you make in life. If you want to look for happiness, right, I really suggest you, money will never solve all of the problem. Money will solve majority of the problems you have, but a small part of the problem, which is happiness, cannot be solved by money. Especially if, let's say today you are getting you're a high income employee, assuming your annual salary is about 100,000, consider not bad, right? 150k. But imagine being tied up to a specific location, to that office that you have to just go there every single day. It is unpleasant. In the long run, you'll feel wear out. You'll feel so demotivated because it is simply way too time consuming and energy consuming. And of course, like me and myself as a father, as a husband and a son, making money, going to a job is my responsibility, right? Sometimes we really feel like we are supposed to do all this. But you have to really question yourself, is it sustainable in the long run? Because I used to be in the F&B space, the food and beverage industry, for many years. Since very young, I've been doing part-times to full-times, to working in hotels and casinos, to restaurants, etc. The trading gives me some sort of freedom that cannot be described through words. It is powerful. And that was exactly the thing that my member told me. He said, hey, I've not made a lot of money. Not just him. One of my students also said the exact same thing to me about 1.5 to 2 months ago. He said, I may not be making a lot of money, but it is the happiest that I've been, because of the amount of freedom and because of how hard they put, how much time they commit into this trading thing to make sure they really make a living out of it, right? The way they just keep refining their edge, just refining their strategy, is just brilliant, right? And when I was having a one-on-one call yesterday, this student, this trader also told me that, hey, I may not be making a lot of money, but I made so much progress. And that's one thing that majority of you watching this video, you just cannot seem to understand. When it comes to an entrepreneurship journey, it is never about how can I make money every single day, every single month. Every successful entrepreneurs will always tell you one thing: unless it's cash flow, unless it's passive income, which trading is not. Trading is not a passive income, it's actually active income, but high income skill. We all know that being an entrepreneur is about making money in the long run. We don't care about, how can I make money every single month. We care about how can I make a bunch of money occasionally. That's it. And I know a lot of you probably listen to the fools out there saying, hey, successful trading is about making 5% a month, 10% a month. No, there'll be times where it's flat. There'll be times where you are sort of break even, it's not going anywhere. There'll be time where you lose money. But every single year there'll be that 1 to 2 brilliant month where you make 30, where you make 50%. That's when you start keeping and protect the profits. And then that profits distribute into the slow month. So you average out, your yearly performance is still good. And that's one thing that majority just cannot seem to understand. They thought, oh, trading is supposed to make me X amount of money consistently every single month. No, it's not that. Trading is like a business. It's like an entrepreneurship journey. It requires so much focus, so much commitment to make sure it's sustainable in the long run. And that's why I always talk about effective risk management, right? How can you manage a risk, manage a drawdown in a way that it is sustainable for the longest period you want to trade. And that's one thing that the students say, hey, I'm not making a lot of money, but I made a lot of progress as in when he first joined our trade club, it was around March. He was taking like 20-30 trades a month or 15 trades, and a lot of them will be losses. No edge, no specific criteria, no filtering process, no strategy. He would just be rifling positions according to his feeling, his emotion, that's it. But right now he slimmed down his monthly average, the number of positions, to only probably about 5 to 10 trades a month. But he still managed to go for BE, small profit kind of months, right? And for me, that's a massive improvement. And the trader realized as well. He's so much more composed, so much more calm, and he know what sort of criteria that he's looking for. He's no longer those rookie trader, struggling trader who just go into the chart, look at the 15 minute, they start taking position. No. To become a good trader, you need to really study various contexts, study different time frame to understand where's your price position, what is that kind of opportunity being offered in the market right now, and how should you adjust your risk. I know some traders, I know a lot of coach, a lot of YouTube traders, they will always say, oh, risk a static amount. I don't agree with that. I'm never someone who say, oh, you should be risking equal amount every single trade. If you ask some of the most successful traders, they always tell you, hey, a linear risk per trade system is everything. When you know this trade itself has a higher probability of success, you should have the ability to identify, detect it, and risk a little bit more. You don't have to say, oh, my normal risk, my B setup I risk 1%, my A setup I risk 10%. No, there shouldn't be a massive gap, but there should be some sort of gap. Let's say your B setup you risk 1%, your A plus setup you risk 1.5%. And when you identify that, hey, it is a valid A setup, how should you add into the position? How to scale into the trade? And that's the big difference between the rookie trader and the experienced trader. It is the ability to detect what's a good setup versus poor setup. And that's probably one of the toughest topic I'm always trying to teach my students, my members, is how do you really identify if it's good or bad? Because if you are always risking equally across all your trade, I know, no matter it's B or A, there is still a probability of failure, probability of losing the trade. But the key thing is, you need to know if let's say this setup itself is offering a 1 to 5 risk reward potential, and this setup is offering a negative risk reward potential, and you're risking the same amount. If this setup is on a trending condition, if this setup is more aggressive mini reversion, and you're risking the same amount, you just don't know what you're doing. That's the way I look at traders when they tell me, oh, I risk equal amount across all my trade. I don't buy into that, because it simply tells me you are still at a level where you're trying to gain consistency. Once you're consistent, you need to know how to identify what's the best setup, what's my A game, what's the best one, under what circumstance, under what context, under what market structure, under what condition. just under what kind of pattern does it ping me that, hey, this is an A plus setup, I need to risk a little bit more, because you only have that amount of A plus setups every single year. And if you don't have the ability to detect it, then it gets a little bit harder for you to have the equity, that growth on your P&L, because you're always making a bit of money going to drawdown, making a bit of money going to drawdown. How can you make sure when you win is a steep increment on your equity curve, and then you have some flat period, you have some drawdown, and then you follow by the next big trade? That's something that I always try to teach my members, and that is what has made me to 7 figures as well. I'm not those that I'm 7 figures trader, but that's exactly what has made me to today. All right, running a community, we have 100+ serious trader. I have 2 kids, I have a family, I have a decent house, I have everything that I want, all through trading. And yeah, I hope by watching this video, by supporting the channel, by joining the 1% Trade Club, all of you, if you're watching this video, you're able to gain some sort of value from me. Alright, I may not be the most flashy type of trader on YouTube, but I always try to make sure I provide value to all of you watching this video. Right? If you're looking for a serious community to join again, the 1% Trade Club, we're looking to grow the community in a slow and steady way. Link is in the description. If you like the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye bye.